Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
So I asked him, I'm asking you now, why some fighters, they're not able to come back from that kind of thing, especially if they look at themselves as the aggressive fighter, the soul taker. And then some people be like, well, did Murtazaliev take his soul? And if the early returns are no, he hasn't. Why do you think, what is it about Tim that's going to allow him to not be one of those fighters where their soul gets taken the first time, someone does that to him?
The interesting thing that I didn't even think about until I got over there. I went over there and I did a night show. I did one of their sports night shows. Awesome sit-down show. I loved it. And I didn't think about this until the question was asked to me. And they said, why is Tim? Well, I forget how they phrased the question, but my answer to this was, well, it's a good thing that it didn't happen for 12 rounds. It was very fast, So the impact that he got, it was so fast that he didn't have time to think about anything. He didn't have time to make adjustments, So when he goes back home and he's got to look at it, he's only looking at, well, this happened in 3 rounds and I didn't have a time to make an adjustment. This is where I was disconnected. It would have been different if it was 12 rounds, him trying to make adjustments.
Emptying his bag, nothing's working.
Nothing's working. He's still getting pummeled. He's getting put down 4 or 5 times in the fight. He got put down very quickly. It happened fast. It's like that one car crash. It's the difference between being in a car crash and then your car spinning off, getting hit by another car, spinning off, get hit by another car. You know what I mean? I think it happened so fast and the punishment was minimum for him that I think that he'll be able to come back from it. And that was my thought process. And then on top of the fact of him being able to own up to it, being able to pinpoint exactly what he did wrong to allow that to happen. And to me, athletes, people in general, when you can figure out what you've done wrong and the result of what you've done wrong, and you know that you have what it takes to fix it, that mistake just doesn't happen again. You never saw me fight the same way you saw me fight against Kell Brook for 12 rounds. You literally never, ever saw that again in my career.
So it boils down to accountability for the fighter? Because that's interesting because great fighters also know how to delude themselves. So, what's the fine line there between you're not deluding yourself too much, you're being accountable, but still giving yourself some leeway to believe that's why you could come back and change things,
Yeah. And again, not to put it on me, but I had so many people telling me, oh, you beat Brook. And I was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I could not allow myself to believe that I won a fight where I got punched probably more than I'd ever been punched in my life. I couldn't allow myself to believe it. But yeah, I think that accountability comes first. But again, everybody's different. It would be different if this was a 12-round fight and he emptied the tank and nothing that he was doing was working. Now you have the belief that I can't beat this guy. Everything I tried didn't work. He came out and fought, in that first 40 seconds of the first round, I knew how the fight was going to end. I knew how it was going to look, So it'd be different if he, tried multiple things. For him to know I came out, I was flat-footed. This is what I did. I won't ever do that again. And he knows that the fight won't look like that again, So for other guys, yeah, I think that for most fighters, I think that it does. It starts with accountability, and then you have to have a team around you that's going to hold you accountable to the things you did right, the things you did wrong, The Tank Davis fight with Lamont Roach, he has to hold himself accountable and not just believe that, well, I had grease in my eyes from my hair, hold himself accountable and not believe, well, the next time I'm just going to fight a little harder and knock him out. He's going to have to be more strategical than he was. And I think he knows that. And, I think that the second fight with Tank and Roach is going to be really, really interesting because I think that they're both are going to make some small, subtle adjustments that, again, are going to go right in line with what the other one thinks he should be doing. And I think the other one, we're going to see the maze move a lot more than the first one. The first fight was kind of like this. This next one's going to be like this. Trust me.
I'm learning that's where your enjoyment in boxing comes. It doesn't come from punches landed and action. You're all about who's thinking and who's changing up.
Barrera and Morales. I'm like, They're doing it.
It's great. But it's kind of this. They kind of doing the same shit over. Yeah.
I had somebody tell me the fight over there with what is that guy's name? It's on the top of my tongue. Starts with the M. Shoot, I can't think of it. But
what country, Sean?
the over there the
In
other night. So the fight before the
okay.
co-main.
Yeah.
It was the fight before the co-main, I believe.
Well, I was in Vegas. I was covering the Torres Vianello card. So the fans, otherwise I would know exactly what Sean's talking about.
I know. And it's on the tip of my tongue. I can see his name. I just can't pronounce it. So we'll move past it. But somebody told me that was the fight of the night. I'm like, there's no way that was the fight of the night. They both like did the same thing every round. They came out and they punched each other round after round, So you're right. Like I'm enthused when I see game plan. I'm enthused when I see adjustments. We'll get to
Is it Mikkel Nelson?
No,
or Andre Mikhailovich.
Nope. I can't think of his name, but don't worry about it.
Cohen Matazoyer against
Cohen.
Dan Hill.
Yeah, it was Cohen. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cohen and Hill. Yeah, that fight, they just fought the same way round after round, and I a little bored of it. But other people thought that was great because they were kind of bashing each other. I'm like
a proper cracker.
Yeah, I'm not really, that's not the time I'm on when I watch boxing. So
yeah. You like to see high level adjustments and chess play out.
Yeah.